Hello guys, Crispy and welcome back to another video. In this one, my friends, we are gonna be testing another RTX 4070 Ti, but today at 4K resolution. Yesterday we tested the 4070 Ti at 1440p resolution, which is the targeted resolution for this card, by Nvidia at least. And since it did pretty well and it provided a high refresh rate experience in almost every game, I wanted to bring you a 4K gaming test. First of all, I want to address the pricing issue. It's supposed to be $799, and at that price it's already too much, as I said yesterday, for a 70 Ti GPU. But yeah, I've seen in some comments that the prices of these things are around like $1,000, and at those prices just avoid. Yeah, it's very sad to see this. It's like Nvidia forgot about value GPUs altogether, and well, the 40 series just aren't good value. But anyways, enough rambling. Let's get back to the Gigabyte model over here. For starters, it's very big and very thick. That's what she said. In the box, you get a 12-pin to dual 8-pin power connector, an anti-sag bracket, and the graphics card itself, of course. It has some RGB lighting on the Gigabyte logo, as well as around the fans, and that's obviously gonna boost your FPS by a lot. Right? Now, but it definitely looks pretty cool with its metal backplate as well. Oh yeah, and let's not forget, this one has dual BIOS, OC, and silent, and I used it in OC mode, which is how it comes out of the box. Alright, that's enough intro, let's get to the games now, shall we? Alright, like yesterday, let's start with Red Dead Redemption 2, looking absolutely gorgeous. Oh my god, this game at 4K is just, it's amazing. 3840 by 2160 is the resolution. We're using the same settings as yesterday, ultra settings, basically maxed out aside from MSAA and the water physics, and motion blur, of course. And if I'm remembering correctly, this is super close. It might be just a little bit better than my 3080 Ti. I played this game a lot with the 3080 Ti. It was my main GPU during 2021, and yeah, it is dropping quite a bit from 60 FPS. I expected a little bit higher performance coming from this, not gonna lie, guys. Alright, let's kill these guys over here. Still very playable. Oh my god, Roach, don't do this to me. Do not do this to me. Oh, wait a second. We gotta take a look at those beautiful god rays. Oh yes. So we need to go to Saint Denis, and I think it is this way, maybe? Oh, I don't like foggy weather in Red Dead Redemption 2, guys. It actually gets you a little bit higher FPS from what I've seen. But let's check it out inside of the forest right here with a ton of vegetation. Yeah, 60s, that's pretty decent, you know. Again, it's just slightly better than the 3080 Ti. I was expecting it to perform a bit better. I also heard that this GPU does a little bit worse at 4K than at lower resolution compared to the 3090 Ti, for example. So that might be what we're seeing right now. And it seems like it's getting around the same FPS as where we started over here. So 50s, higher 50s, and maybe lower 60s a little bit later. Yeah, I can say I'm impressed about this, actually. The 1440p results were really good. It was always above 60. But the 4K results, it could have been a little bit better, not gonna lie. I'm gonna enable DLSS now to see how much of a difference it makes. So we're gonna utilize it on quality, and that should bump up our FPS by quite a bit. Yes, 70s now instead of higher 50s, but it is stuttering a little bit. I've also seen that at 1440p, whenever you enable DLSS in this game, you get some weird frame time spikes that weren't there previously. Oh, wait a second, Bob is right here, I hear him. Okay, there we go. Shut up, Bob. Goodbye. Don't play copyrighted music on my videos. Oh boy, now we're screwed, I guess. Come over here. Roach, Roach. Where the heck is Roach, dude? Oh, what are you doing there? Come on, get out, get out. Somebody was stealing him, I guess. Now, those 1% lows are that low because of that little stuttering that we're having right now. I don't know why that happens. I actually saw it previously today, and I reinstalled the drivers and everything, and it was still there. I don't know. But to be honest, I can't really feel much stutter anyways. If I didn't have that frame time enabled, I wouldn't be able to call it stuttering, honestly. Well, anyways, DLSS definitely gives you that 60 plus FPS experience. Call of Duty Warzone 2 is next at 4K using the extreme settings preset. I just changed the depth of field, I turned it off, and no DLSS at the moment. Oh boy, no! While I was dropping from the sky, it was getting like 80 FPS, but now since we are near water, it drops into the 60s. Damn, okay. I mean, this is one of the most intensive areas in the entire game, but I did not expect it to drop that much from like 100 frames per second, or even 80 in water areas. Look at that, it's getting lower 60s at times. Oh, it drops. If you are chafurdant in the water, like I usually say over here, it actually drops into the lower 50s at times. Okay, I see why Nvidia didn't aim this at 4K gaming. Holy, that's a surprise actually. I wasn't expecting it to be that bad. Okay, anyways, it's still playable, and if we enable the DLSS, it's gonna be a great experience here, even at 4K. Oh yes, okay. There we go. I have to double check, guys, but I think the 6900 XT from AMD actually did a little bit better in this game at 4K resolution. And that's a cheaper GPU these days, of course. It also has more VRAM, 16 gigabytes. But this game really likes AMD GPUs. But still, I expected this to do a little bit better, not gonna lie. All right, up into the 90s around here, which is the least intensive area in my benchmark run. And now getting into foresty areas with a little bit of vegetation. Oh, it massively drops our FPS once again into the 60s. DLSS on quality, 69% sharpness, and now we're getting around 100 frames per second around this area instead of like 60 to 70, which is much better, but the game gets a little bit over sharpened. Oh, I just remembered, you can actually adjust the sharpening. I just put it to 69 because, well, that's the best number, right? So let's go back to the water area and see the FPS around here now. It's getting 90s. All right, that's much better. Okay. Not dropping too much, looking in that direction, for example, only into the higher 80s. So if you're playing at 4K, DLSS is the way to go. Also, I am running a 4K monitor, and it still looks really good. A tad over sharpened again, but you can actually adjust it. So no problems in that regard. I could definitely enjoy the experience like this. It's also not stuttery, and in this area, which is the most intensive one, it is only dropping into the lower 80s this time around. Can I make it drop from 80 though? I don't think so. Yeah, 81 is probably the minimum there. Yeah, I'm seeing the footage from my 6900 XT test in this game, and it actually dropped less than this GPU in the water. It only dropped to like 71. Oh my god. Cyberpunk is next at 4K using the Ray Tracing Ultra settings without DLSS first and without motion blur as well. This is it, and over here we are using high crowd density. Oh! Okay, these FPS just reminded me why I don't test this game without DLSS and ray tracing at the same time, you know? It's a bad idea, as you saw. Quality DLSS then. That's much better. 40s, I mean, it's what I was expecting, honestly, because this is a super intensive title whenever you are using ray tracing. And, well, the 4080, I think it didn't get 60 plus all of the time either in this game, so... yeah, this is totally expected. Anyways, you can still play like this if you don't mind less than 60 FPS, but if you're spending $1,000 on a GPU, which I think that's what it costs, right? You might actually want those 60 plus FPS, of course, and that's where frame generation comes in, but it's still not in this game. Okay, around here, the FPS usually drop by quite a lot into the lower 40s at times. I didn't really see 30s though, so that's a good sign. At least it's 40 plus all of the time, right? That's not terrible. You definitely should either disable ray tracing or play with frame generation. And since FG is not out yet for the general public, I will need to update the game to the press release version to show you frame generation results. That's very unfortunate, but hey, hopefully CD Projekt Red can actually implement it soon. I'm tired of waiting. Come on, CD Projekt Red. This is much better, right around that 69 FPS number, which is absolutely perfect. That's what we want on average, of course. How's it go? What? It just disappeared. Okay, alright, I won't question it. Is it inside of my car right now? Like, is there a person inside of it? I don't understand. Okay, let's continue here. It's still not enough for 60 plus FPS all of the time, guys. As you can see, it's dropping quite close right now. Goodbye, Bob, once again. But yeah, in this roundabout, things should start dropping a little bit. Ooh, a couple of stutters there. I wonder. Ooh. It is actually running out of VRAM at this moment, guys. At 4K with frame generation and the ray tracing settings, of course, it runs out of VRAM at times and it causes stuttering issues. So 12 gigabytes are actually not enough, at least on this GPU. Oh yeah, I just remembered in the 4080 video and 4090 videos, I also saw a bit higher VRAM utilization when using frame generation. So that's definitely what's happening here. We're running out of VRAM at times and it's causing stuttering. Wow, okay, I wasn't expecting that. Now it's Battlefield 2042 4K using the ultra settings with no DLSS at the moment. Oh, this is actually not bad. This is Breakthrough, by the way, 64-player server, and it's getting 80s. Okay, it's not the same map as yesterday. I think this might actually be a little bit less intensive, but I spent a lot of time in the queue for this one, actually. Let's go. The objective is ours. Oh boy, getting shot at. This is actually pretty smooth. I was expecting it to be worse after seeing like Cyberpunk and Red Dead Redemption 2, but no, it's 80 FPS. It's totally playable like this. But it's good to know that there aren't any issues with the VRAM size, you know. 12 gigabytes is absolutely fine for this game at 4K resolution. It's barely even using like 8 gigabytes, so even 8 gigabyte GPUs should be fine at 4K, but well, you might actually not find a fast enough 8 gigabyte GPU to achieve like 60 plus at this res, you know. It's super intensive. Wait a second. Oh, we actually got one. Let's go. No, let's go. No, come on. What? There we go. Another one down there, and there is one right there. Okay, we got him. Let's get inside. And there's another one here. What are you doing, camping bastard? Is there someone here? No, okay. It's all good. It's all good. Oh, boy. No. Okay, one down. And that's another one right there. Quality DLSS at 4K. Again, it looks quite good in this game, like I told you yesterday. It gets rid of that over-sharpening look of TAA that's forced in this game, and it actually gives you more FPS. So this is how I would play this game. So there's an issue with my motherboard. It doesn't like EA games, and this happens sometimes. And now we're in Kaleidoscope. This would be perfect for yesterday's GPU, you know, the Midnight Kaleidoscope. Also, speaking of, this Gigabyte model is also doing a really good job. It's a little bit slower in clock speed compared to yesterday's GPU, but the temperatures are absolutely fine. It's also pretty silent, like, yeah, I cannot hear it from here. I don't know why I try it. The PC is all the way over there, you know. Different map, different settings. We can't really directly compare DLSS on and off in this one, unfortunately, but it is performing around 100 frames per second. So it's another nice improvement coming from DLSS. I really like it. And the visuals, to me at least, they look a little bit better while using DLSS. I'm not sure if I mentioned this. Oh, it's raining in Forza, guys. This is perfect. You can see all of the little droplets of water on the car. It's beautiful, this game at 4K. Of course, the resolution is 3840 by 2160. TAA is being utilized because it's the best anti-aliasing tech in this game. And extreme settings, same as yesterday. So let's start. Oh boy, this is very slippery right now. Okay, all right, let's do this. This is still an amazing experience in Forza Horizon 5. It will drop a little bit in the city area because that's way more intensive than here, but I can't deny this is a perfect experience for a game like this. All you need is like 60 FPS, in my opinion at least, and this definitely gets way higher than that. So no issues whatsoever in Forza. VRAM is also under control at 9 gigabytes at the moment. I actually expected it to be a little bit higher. Now let's do that jump. Oh yes, there we go. Also, do you like this car? It's like a Batmobile or something. I know there's like some other car that is actually a Batmobile, or at least it looks more like it, but this is my Batmobile because I don't have that other car. Yeah. Oh, okay, it's all good. It's all good. Kind of. Okay, never mind. Also, the FPS dropped a little bit because of the vegetation back there. Oh, no, no, no. Oh, go, boy. Double flip. Oh, yes. Oh, perfect landing as well. Should start dropping now. Come on. All right, there we go. It drops from 100 FPS slightly. Oh, what is wrong with my voice? Okay. It gets around the same FPS as inside of those bushes back there, so it's interesting. It doesn't drop by all that much here in the city either. Worst case scenario is right now, and it drops into the 80s. Oh boy, the 4070 Ti just got wrecked in Fortnite. So this game with the Unreal Engine 5.1 supports ray tracing in the form of the Lumen Epic reflections here, real-time ray trace reflections. So that's why it is so intensive on high-end epic settings. Oh no, will it actually manage to drop from 30 FPS? Oh my. That is so intensive, guys. Actually, even the RTX 4080 was getting around like 50 FPS on average with these settings. So I'm not impressed at all with what I'm seeing right now. Yeah, this game is just super demanding whenever you are using ray tracing. I'm gonna go ahead and use TSR on high and like performance. Right away, just to try to achieve those 60 FPS. It's still not enough. It looks super pixelated whenever you're moving, but at least it is now playable. 70 FPS. And I'm also using a 42-inch monitor, so I can see all of the imperfections. Maybe with like a 32-inch or 27-inch monitor, it would look alright-ish. Where are they, buddy? Oh, you got him. Okay, nice. Now, as I said, probably nobody should play this game like this, using these settings. It's too much for every GPU, basically. Even like a 4090 drops FPS if you're not using upscaling technology. So it's crazy. It is just like a tech demo. It's good for testing GPUs, not really good for playing the game. Them. That's like the benefit of 4K is that you can actually spot them from really far away and hit those shots. Like, I couldn't do this if I was playing at 1080p, so there is definitely an advantage of playing at these high resolutions, you know? There we go, come on. Come on. That's just a bot. It's running like a bot, I think. Overwatch 2 is next at 4K using the epic settings. Oh boy. Oh boy. Oh boy. It starts, guys. It starts. My cluelessness. Yes. I don't know what I do here in Overwatch. Just wave your hammer around. That's it. Come on. I'm low HP. Medics. Medics. No medics. Okay. No. Oh my. Oh, that's terrible. Maybe it was because we were playing at 1440p yesterday and actually getting like 240 FPS or something crazy like that. But now I'm just dying and dying. It must be the FPS, right? It's not the skills, obviously. Let's kill this fat boy. Let's kill this fat boy. There we go. There we go. Okay, all right. Let's retake this objective. Actually, take this objective because we never had it. Oh boy, no. That's enough. That's enough. We've seen a ton of mayhem already. We're gonna lose anyways. Assassin's Creed Valhalla at 4K, 100% resolution scale, and the ultra high settings. I will change the motion blur though. Okay, start counting our FPS. This is the built-in benchmark of this game, as I usually run in these videos, because now you can actually compare things around, like with the 4090, the 4080 that I tested. It's exactly the same path over here. And And compared to the 1440p results, we got 132 FPS on average yesterday using the same settings. And now it seems like it is still pretty dang smooth. For a single player title like this one, I would be totally fine with 60 plus FPS. I mean, that's a perfect experience, at least to me, in a game like Assassin's Creed. Well, it's Apex Legends with our boy Gibraltar. Well, 4K resolution, highest settings aside from this one, because this requires more than 12 gigs of VRAM. Damn, okay, looking at the entire map, we're getting 100 plus FPS. I expected worse. But of course, as we know already, in Apex Legends, when the action hits up, it's where it will drop the most. Here we go. This is pretty good, guys. All right, for a 144 Hz 4K monitor, it's quite nice, at least so far. Look at those frames. Damn. Looking at the map from here, 150. Oh boy, okay, that was not what I meant to do, but all right. It's actually quite insane that it's reaching 200 FPS at times. Oh, I remember, around that geyser, it usually drops by quite a bit. So let's throw our ultimate right there, actually. Look at that, guys, 120s. There's something with water, or moving water at least, and Apex Legends, like the other map, Olympus, I think it is, also drops FPS like crazy in the waterfall area. So that's interesting. Okay, so here we go. Oh no. We were dropping into like the 80s and 70s there for a second. Oh, come on. That's basically worst case scenario here, and it's still pretty dang smooth. Now it's God of War at 4K using the Ultra Settings preset. Oh, hello there, guy. Well, we're starting with a little bit of a fight this time around. There is another one. Okay, more of them, too. Go, go, go. Fight them with your arrows, buddy. Let's do this. Some effects on screen, and it's not dropping. There we go. Oh, middle mouse button. That's nice. Oh, yes. I love it, guys. These are just brutal. You gotta love God of War, right? Some effects. 65 there. Still not a problem, and if it does drop, you always got DLSS to save the day. But I don't think it's needed, actually. It already does a great job without it. There we go, cutscene time. Maybe it's gonna drop here at 4K res, but I don't think so. Yeah, it's still the same. With last-gen GPUs, it actually dropped a lot in this cutscene right here with all of that depth of field and stuff like that. And there we go. This is the last fight here of my benchmark run. Come on, buddy. Buddy, kill them bastards. There we go. There we go. Good job. They're just stopping there. Maybe I'm playing this on easy or something. Is there anybody else? Oh, yes, there is. Okay. Wait a second. Okay. It feels pretty smooth. No stuttering, though. So that's nice to see. VRAM is also well under control. Stop blocking my things. Now, it never dropped from 60, but that's not to say that it won't ever drop from 60. This is a linear title. It's impossible to test the entire game here, of course. So there could be some more intensive areas that will drop the FPS more. But still, I think it's a really solid experience here in God of War. Valorant is next at 4K highest settings with 4 times MSAA. I'll just change the Nvidia reflex thingy to on instead of on plus boost, because that actually limits our GPU utilization. Let's go. Let's try to win this one. We actually won the 1440p game, so yeah, I'm already feeling quite warmed up from yesterday. Yes, that's it. Let's go. Let's go. A few kills here. No, like, no, my God, no, that's terrible. No. Anybody fancying some gelato? La Krushka, very good, very good. What? How did I do that? Oh boy, I need some health. I need some health. Thank you so much. Nice, another one. Oh, no. Okay, I didn't get that one. There's another one somewhere. There he is. Let's go. Nice. Woo! Double headshot. Oh, yes, triple headshot. No. Stop stealing my kills. I should be first place already, not that guy. Come on. It's all because they keep stealing my kills. Definitely. Well, guys, in my book, it's not my fault that we didn't win this one. The first guy, well, we killed him a bunch of times, so we actually won this. Night Spider-Man Miles Morales 4K, DLSS is turned off at the moment, as well as frame generation, and we're using the highest settings with ray tracing. Maybe it's a bad idea. All right. Ray tracing is a little bit too much, but it's still around 60 FPS at native 4K, so not too bad, but the 1440p results were definitely way better, okay? I don't recommend it, okay? It drops into the 40s, even 30s, look at that. Yeah, that's a bit rough. It's starting to stutter a little bit. VRAM is almost maxed out as well. Ooh. Okay, ray tracing is super intensive, guys. We need that frame generation. Wow, it is so much better, guys. Instead of getting 50s and 60s, we're now basically doubling our FPS with frame generation. Maybe the trees are actually a little bit blinky. Yeah, sometimes they blink a little bit. That's right. I'm actually surprised that they haven't fixed that. But you can see it at the distance, right? That the trees are blinking a little bit. Yeah, okay. I didn't notice it yesterday at 1440p, weirdly. But here at 4K, it's very noticeable. I'm not sure if I would play like this. That's a big shame because everything else looks really good and pretty sharp and detailed even with frame generation. Here's what we're gonna do now. We're gonna disable DLSS frame generation and DLSS altogether, use some TAA, and use the very high settings without ray tracing this time around. Alright, it's getting around the same FPS as DLSS frame generation with RT enabled, but now it's native resolution, so if you don't like DLSS, this is perfect for you. And it also gets way less CPU bound at the same time, which is great to achieve 99% utilization most of the time here. Now we don't have those trees blinking at the distance anymore. Everything looks sharp and detailed. And I mean, it's now a perfect experience. Well above 60 FPS all of the time, even here in the Central Park area with all of the vegetation. And around here is also really intensive because of these smoke effects, and it only dropping into the 70s, higher 70s. Now it's Dying Light 2 at 4K, DLSS quality, 69 sharpness. DLSS actually looks way better than no DLSS in this game because of first TAA, and we're using the high quality ray tracing settings, and it's still above 60 FPS, actually right around 69. I don't know why it's not showing 69 right there. 68 or 70, come on, mate. Anyways, I'm gonna start counting the FPS right now. This is a different on-screen display because Afterburner doesn't work here. And yeah, let's walk around here for a little bit. It's actually dropping already into the 50s. Now, of course, if you disable ray tracing, it's gonna get 60 plus all of the time. But I mean, you're spending so much on a GPU, I really think you want all the bells and whistles in terms of the the graphical quality, right, guys? You might want to use some balanced DLSS instead of dropping the settings. I mean, it's 4K, so it still looks good. Yeah, there are quite a few compromises sometimes with the 4070 Ti in these games with ray tracing, especially at 4K. But there we go. Balanced DLSS now gets us 70s instead of like 60s or higher 50s. That's quite nice. Let's go up there once again, though, and see where it was dropping the most.
Ah!
What happened? What happened, Aiden? Are you all right? What? Oh, these barrels, man. Oh, the barrels. That's very interesting. Also, it didn't drop, did it? I didn't notice it dropping from 60. It didn't feel like it, at least. Let's go. Let's go up here. Oh, boy. Okay, turn around. Go down there. See the FPS down there? Come on, come on. Open the thing. Oh, yeah, this is enough to put us above 60 FPS all of the time. This is where we started, and it dropped to like 55. Now it only drops to 65. It's solid, okay? It shouldn't really fluctuate too much in this game, the FPS. So I think you're going to have a great experience, even with RT enabled, as long as you use the DLSS on ballast, which, to be honest, looks almost the same. Microsoft Flight Simulator is a super intensive game that you should use frame generation on, because otherwise you're going to be CPU bottlenecked and you're going to get low FPS. So 4K quality DLSS with FG and ultra settings preset without motion blur. Now that is absolutely beautiful, my friends. Oh yes, there's the Statue of Liberty right there. Everything everything looking pretty sharp and detailed, even on a 42-inch monitor. I mean, with frame generation, I can tell there is a little bit of aliasing around the plane, but nothing major. I would totally choose to play like this with 100 FPS than without it, and like 60 and even 50s at times in New York City, for example. And this is one of those titles where I think Nvidia claims like a 3 times performance improvement over a 3090 Ti on the 4070 Ti. That's just total BS, honestly. It's just because of frame generation, which is not present in the 30 series. And there's no way a 4070 Ti is actually 3 times faster with the same settings in the same game as a 3090 Ti. There's just no way, okay? That's just marketing stuff. Now, so far so good. I've seen like a couple of minor stuttering issues here which happen inevitably in this game. 99% GPU utilization also, which is quite nice to see. Even with the 5800X 3D at 1440p, it wasn't at 99% because there was a bit of more of a CPU bottleneck. In this building right here is usually where we see a ton of artifacting because of frame generation, or we saw that with the 4090, but I think they have fixed it already. Oh boy, clipping into building is actually quite nice. And finally we reached the most GPU intensive area here, Central Park, dropping into the 80s. Not a problem though. For a simulator type of game like this one, even 30 FPS is fine. Next is F122 at 4K using DLSS on quality, frame generation disabled at the moment, and we're using the ultra high settings preset, which enables ray tracing. Now this is the built-in benchmark of the game, which is really accurate, and I tried it first at native resolution and I was seeing like 50-ish FPS here at the start of the match, so yeah, that's not what you want, of course. So enabling DLSS on quality gives you almost the same good visuals, you know, without the frame generation stuff. And you get like 90 to 100 frames per second at times, or like 80 to 100 most of the time. I wouldn't really enable frame generation in this one because you can see a lot of weirdness and artifacting around the player names. Even at 4K resolution, you know, they haven't really fixed that yet. I will show it to you in just a little bit, but yeah, just I wouldn't use it in this particular game. In some games it looks really good. In this one I found it to be a little bit distracting. I'm also fast forwarding these runs, okay? The cars are not this fast. But yeah, it's a perfect experience with 69 FPS, 1% lows, almost. You go from like 80 to 100 frames per second. The sharpness of the image is a little bit worse. It's not like night and day though. And you get those artifacting issues that you can probably see in the names of the players, right? It's pretty distracting in my opinion. Also, I just restarted the game because I noticed the GPU usage was pretty low there with frame generation. I don't know why that is. It seems like it's locked to like 100 frames. Weird stuff, guys. It's not worth enabling, basically. Lastly, the GTA. 4K resolution, no MSAA this time, using the maximum settings here, aside from motion blur and depth of field, and over on the advanced graphics, these 3 are turned on. Okay, let's visit the Jackal. The Jack. It's only Jack, okay? His name is not Jackal, let's continue here. 100 plus FPS is basically what we should expect with a 4070 Ti in this game at ultra settings, let's call it that, okay? It's pretty good. You know, I again, in GTA 5, I'm always expecting a bit more coming from these new GPUs, but since the game is old, it's just not optimized to run very well on these or take full advantage of these new GPUs. That's why you see the power utilization going a bit lower than in other games that we tried so far. But still, it obviously can provide a great experience. No stuttering, which is very nice as well. Almost there, boy. Okay, nice. Nice car, buddy. All right, let's continue. Almost there. Bushy areas, most intensive areas in this game, and dropping into the 80s. Pretty solid, guys. It's not too different from the 1440p results with 4 times MSAA. Where's Jack? Oh, I hear him, but where the heck are you, Jack? Jack, I'm so confused right now. Oh, there he is. He's running away from us. Ah, that bastard. What are you doing, Jack? Come on. Oh, boy. Oh, I'm so sorry. It's always a sad day when Jack dies. But he's not dead, okay? Let's continue here. Bob, come over here. All right, at least we got Bob, so the balance in the universe is restored. And it's finally conclusion time, and the 4070 Ti at 4K. Well, I don't know what you were expecting, but I thought it was gonna be a little bit better than it ended up being. Sometimes it actually matched my 3080 Ti, other times it was a little bit faster, like 3090 Ti is also a little bit faster than 3080 Ti, so I guess it matches the 3090 Ti sometimes, and other times it loses by a little bit. At 1440p, it actually has a bit more of an advantage over the 3090 Ti, but not at this resolution, as I saw in other people's reviews, because I don't really have a 3090 Ti to compare it to, okay? Anyways, at around $1,000, and for a 4K 60 FPS experience, it's a tough sell, right? And for a 70 Ti SKU, again, that's way too much. The 3070 Ti wasn't a particularly good deal. It was very slightly faster than the 3070, and it cost $100 over a 3070 at $599. 3070 was $499. So yeah, this being $200 more expensive, it's not the good value at MSRP, let alone at $1,000. At these current prices, just avoid the 40 series. They're just not good value GPUs. Thank you very much for watching this video. Don't forget to like and subscribe if you haven't already. Catch you guys in the next one. Love you all. Bye-bye.